Dude, this guy is massive for 60 years old, right? You know, he doesn't think he's big anymore because he doesn't look like James, my man. You're a gargantuan mofo, right? Like, dude, you don't gotta belittle yourself because you downsized a little bit. What's up, everyone? It's Russo. I hope everyone is doing well. Please follow my Instagram at Russo Lifts. Just in case something happens to this YouTube channel, you can follow, message, and you can watch my daily story content on Instagram. I'll see you there. What's up, everyone? It's Russo. I hope everyone is doing well. ASMR sip is pineapple coconut bubbly. This flavor is mid. It's mid, right? Raspberry, all about raspberry or cherry. Coconut pineapple not really doing its thing. All right, there's your ASMR sip, and everyone complaining. Andrew puts timestamps to skip the sip, but we have hardcore sip fans, and I have a special announcement about the ASMR sip, aka it's sponsored now. So everyone wanted to cancel the sip. Glad I pushed through, and glad the homies backed me with the sip, because now joke's on you guys who hate the sip. Anyways, today I'm going to be going into one of the OG bodybuilders I follow. Recently put out a pretty concerning video. His name is James Tiny Vest. Now this mofo is far from tiny, right? And I'm gonna bring up his channel right now. So I've been following James ever since I started bodybuilding, looked into enhancement. You know, he's kind of like the old gold school mass monster, super stoic. I loved his mentality. And you know, just like one of those dudes who you would go in a biker bar and you'd be like, oh, I don't wanna fuck with that guy. When in reality, you know, he's one of the most genuine, nice, humble giants, in my opinion. Anyways, he recently posted a video 6 days ago. Has mass life finally destroyed my health? So I'm gonna bring up two videos. He is currently, I think, around 60 years old. We're obviously gonna go through his video, and I brought up a video of when I used to watch him, how he used to look. Here's two videos. Right, this is one of the first videos I've seen of him. Look at the mass. The mass is insane. The mass is wild, okay?
Okay, first thing that I would do is...
I mean, just looking at him, it's just like, I was completely drawn by the amount of tissue this guy holds, and I loved his persona. I followed him and kept with him for a very long time, but he's 60 years old. I think this is from 2015, this video, if I'm correct. So it's currently 2022. He's in his early 50s, late 40s. In this video, you can see the mass he's accumulated. This is his current look with the Has Mass Life Finally Destroyed My Health. And then I'm featuring this viral video from a couple years ago. I think it has, when was this published? 2015, 112,000 views. Looking like an absolute freak of nature, right? Straight gold school mass monster. Lived the lifestyle and a lot of stoic, great, you know, humble information in all his videos. I highly recommend you check him out, especially all the older viewers. I'm sure you can relate to him much more than I can, but I've been a fan of James forever, and this video caught my eye. So this video, this is his current, or this is how he used to look, and this is his current look. So I'm gonna give you one more full, like, this was Tiny Vest. Tiny. I think it's so funny, like James Tiny Vest stuck in my head. I mean, everyone in the comments will call him Tiny, but my God, you see this dude in real life at a biker bar and you're like, holy fuck, I don't want to fuck with this dude. When in reality, he's like one of the kindest, most humble guys I've seen at that size with virtually no ego. But this is his current look. This is a current look. Again, this was posted on June 9th, 2022. And let's go through the video. This is gonna be my reaction. I'm gonna be playing this at 2x speed because, like myself, I like to think through what I say and not talk at a rapid fire pace because no one can keep up with me. And my brain goes faster than I can actually talk. He likes to think what he says too, so I'm gonna play it at 2x speed. So if you guys are watching at 2x speed, you might wanna slow it down right here.
These are gonna be directly related. And it's gonna be something to do with, this is going to be the first one. Not sure what I'm gonna call it yet. Basically what it is, in all truth, is surviving the damage, or navigating the damage, or circumnavigating the damage that is self-inflicted from pursuing the mass lifestyle for so long.
Notice James states the mass lifestyle, not steroids, TRT, HRT, enhanced bodybuilding, the mass monster lifestyle, being that ginormous character he was in this video. That is much more than just taking steroids and growth hormone, right? That is the whole lifestyle for him to achieve that physique is insane amount of discipline and dedication. And more importantly, an extreme caloric intake to feed all that tissue. I like that he separated it from, oh, this is the damage from steroids. No, this is the entire damage from the entire lifestyle with steroids in there causing damage, but the mass monster lifestyle of being that big.
For so long. And for me, this is a very real, firsthand, like most of my videos, is firsthand experience. You know, I've been really big for a really long time, and even when I don't look like I'm that big, I'm still pretty big. So, you know.
Dude, this guy is massive for 60 years old, right? You know, he doesn't think he's big anymore because he doesn't look like James, my man. You're a gargantuan mofo, right? Like, dude, you don't gotta belittle yourself because you downsized a little bit. It happens to everyone. Father Time is undefeated. You think Floyd Mayweather is undefeated running around dodging? Like, Father Time comes and gets you, right? And Father Time, no one has cheated him yet. I'm sure with, you know, the current technology being developed somewhere in some foreign lab might, you know, differentiate down the line. But right now, no one has beat Father Time, and in my opinion, he still looks great at 60 years old, considering all the abuse he did to himself over the years, being that big. It's like, it's kind of comical, right? He was very adamant on monitoring his health, and he knew he was older, and he still wanted to be massive, and he's like, fuck you, it's my life. And most people are like, you're gonna drop dead when you're 30, and this guy is 60, still looking like this. So that is a testament that he did not abuse super high dosages, which he goes into.
Out here in the real world, to the busters. Not in the little warper, fantasy, two-dimensional world in there that they live in, the little busters, not the world they live in. Out here in this world, in real world, real life, walking around.
I'm gonna start calling the pleb haters little busters. Little busters. Russo's small as fuck, you little fucking buster. Stay in the comment section, but dude, I just don't understand why he even...
Out here, where things actually, real life takes place and unfolds. You know, so even when I don't look like I'm that big, I'm still a lot bigger than a regular person. And there is a bill to be paid for that. There's a bill to be paid. And it coincides with my thinking lately, pretty much this entire year, in my mindset. I've come to realize that. You know, I wasn't feeling the same, I wasn't functioning the same, something was different. Something was just different, so I had blood work done, you know.
Great input by James on this video, right? He wasn't feeling good, he was feeling off, not himself. Instead of ignoring it, continuing, you know, the mental addiction of being massive, continuing like, oh, if I don't think about it, it'll go away. If I don't think about it, I'll be fine. Like, he's like, fuck it, I'm gonna get blood work, let's see what's going on, right? Let's address this issue. Awesome advice.
Full panel for everything. And I had some news that wasn't the greatest news in the world. And it's news that is kind of all too typical and commonplace for people my age and younger. You know, I haven't been on any medications. I've been able to afford to avoid having to have any kind of medications to function and just to stay alive all the way up until this point.
So he has been medication free. No heart medications to look like that. Apparently no blood pressure medications to look like that. Now I don't know his biomarkers when he was, you know, looking like a freaking sauced up unit. He's like the biker gang, like hitman type look. I don't know what his biomarkers look like at this size in 2015. He's saying that he's used no medications ever to monitor anything.
My 60th year. But now, you know, they want to prescribe me these medications. So for some serious illnesses, diseases that I've self-inflicted through my lifestyle choices as far as what I've been eating, how I've been training, you know, mostly what I've been eating. So
I think he's alluding around heart disease. He doesn't, I already watched this entire video, obviously, before I jumped on to react. He doesn't go into specifics. I'm assuming his cholesterol is not looking like where he wants to look, and that, you know, heart disease might be creeping its head, or kidney damage, whichever one. Kidneys are a silent killer. His creatinine and blood might not be where it wants to be. Obviously, the amount of protein intake he probably did to maintain, you know, the freakazoid look over here. Obviously, you pay a price for that, especially if you're just redlining the food constantly, which I like. James highlights that it's the extreme lifestyle diet, not entirely the gear. The gear plays a role. I'm not saying it doesn't, but to look like that for as long as James did at the age James was, there's gonna be problems.
So, you know, this initial video here, I just want to talk about to set the stage, and then we're going to get into both of these problems in 2 consecutive videos, and what I've done about it, what I'm doing about it, and what the results have been or haven't been so far. You see, everything that we learn, you know, and I'm speaking from the perspective we, as in anybody that has spent any considerable amount of time in the pursuit of mass. That's mass. That's what they want. You know, I haven't gotten sloppy, out of shape. I haven't really been, that terrible off, I thought. But it's the weight. And it's not just the weight, it's the actual food that you're eating, the amount of food, the huge amounts of food.
I agree, right? People want to point the fingers at steroids. I want to put the finger at the entire enhanced bodybuilding mass lifestyle, right? The insane amount of food, the water retention around the heart pushing the food on top of the blood pressure altering of the actual gear compounds. It's a recipe for disaster. Your body doesn't care if it's muscle or fat. Being that heavy is not good for the body. The minute you push it over 230, at least for me personally, like when I was walking around at 260, right? It was hard to sleep. I should have used a CPAP machine. I felt terrible. I was only 23, 24 when I weighed that amount. James Tiny Vest weighs more than I've ever been, all tissue, that needs fed blood constantly at 50 plus years old. You can put that together.
And the nature of the food, where everything that we acclimate ourselves onto, that we take on practices, so that we can, achieve this mess that we're after, fucking big ass arms and big legs and big back and all this other bullshit, right? Yeah, it's like the old axiom, I'm sure you've heard me say this before. If you're trying to gain muscle size, you're trying to put on size, and you're a naturally skinny person, you're having a difficult time doing it, you're what they call a hard gainer, right? Then it's all calories in the corner of the room. You've heard me say that millions of times. So it's all about the conservation of energy, conservation of calories, because you have to have that excess, you have to have the material to build muscle. So the old axiom is, and I didn't create it, it's been around a long, long time, it's old school talk, is don't run when you can walk. Don't walk when you can stand. Don't stand when you can sit. And don't sit when you can lie down. It sounds horrible, doesn't it? It sounds really lethargic and sounds like a really lazy type of thing to pursue, but it's just the point of what it's trying to say, is what the gist of it is, what it is trying to put forward. And that is the concept of the idea that you don't want to disperse your energies and deal those calories out to all kinds of different expenditures, to all kinds of different activities and things like that, and goings on, when if you were primarily, chiefly laser focused on building muscle.
I wanted to react to this. So there's some truth to that nature, right? If your body runs through glycogen, you have a hyper fast metabolism, right? Putting on weight is a struggle. I'll have Andrew throw up a picture of me as a long distance runner. I know all too well. I used to weigh 140 pounds. I've weighed 265 in the morning. I've been on both sides of the spectrum at this point. I will say that a lot of dudes, when they gain weight, they tend to slack, not do any cardio at all. Now, I'm a long distance runner at heart. I love cardio for the mental capacity of pushing my mind in cardio. I will always do some sort of cardio, but a lot of guys, especially when I was building my physique, asked why I still did cardio while I was bulking. It's for general health. It's to keep my blood pressure under control. It's to keep my heart conditioned. That being said, we can weigh in my coach, Alec, right? Alec Matrisky, you can check him out, hormonegod.com or whatever his website is, right? Basically, Alec would be like, you don't want to overstress your heart at the same time. So really, Alec, if he was coaching James, would recommend he does like a brisk walk every morning, a brisk walk after, weight training, to keep the heart stimulated, to keep the cardiovascular system adapted, but not, overstrained with tons of cardio. James completely focused on mass, completely focused on tissue. He didn't want to waste any of it when he's pushing the androgens, waste that food on cardio. He wanted to stay as big as possible, and it's this old school inclination of even adding a little bit of cardio, you're gonna ruin the mass down the line, which in my opinion, cardio should always be there, right? Obviously, if you're in a contest prep situation or you're in a serious cut, you want to start with a little cardio and ramp it up as the cut goes along. But in the off season, I'd still always be doing 10 to 15 minutes of stairs after my sessions, right? I'm not doing 40 minutes of stairs, I'm not doing an hour of stairs, but I'm definitely still keeping the cardio in there to keep the metabolism, the metabolic processes going. James is stating that completely neglected that for mass.
So, and I have never said, I've never been under any illusion or delusion, I've never said to anybody, never seen me in a video say, yeah, this is a healthy way to go about it. I have had videos on easy ways to gain mass with shitty food, how to gain mass with good food, eat to grow and all these things, these videos. I've never said this is a healthy thing to do. I've always said that it's not a sustainable way to eat for the rest of your life. But that leaves a pretty open end.
That's why I love James, man. He's true to heart. He's completely based, stoic dude. I have the utmost respect. And like I said, I've watched his videos since 2015, 2016. I learned a lot from him on his mentality, his lifestyle to achieve this crazy freakazoid physique at that age. And he makes it look easy, right? Getting a physique like that is so difficult.
And when is it no longer a sustainable way to eat? What point of life does it become this point of life? For me, and for everybody, it could be a different place. Depending on genetics, depending on what else you abused surrounding this entire endeavor, right? With most people, they're going to have these things earlier. They're going to have these things more drastic come into their life and they're going to have other things because they're going to probably run the drugs a lot harder than I ever did, So I don't have none of the issues that I'm having health-wise now have anything to do with the gear. Nothing to do with the gear because the gear is just, is so small that you would.
It's where I'm gonna draw a cross. James, my man, the gear played a role. Whatever that blood work read that you don't talk about, we can inclinate that the gear played a role in the damage. Am I saying that it's entirely the gear? No. Am I saying you're irresponsible with your gear use? No. You obviously gotta take risk with performance enhancers to look like this, my man. But saying that none of it had to do with the gear, that's false, right? I'm sure the gear played a role. I'm not saying you pushed extreme dosages. It looks like you just crept along on the gear needed to hold that mass, and you trained hard as shit. You ate, obviously, amazingly. You accumulated that physique over all those years. It's hard, it's dense, crazy, freaky looking physique. It doesn't look like you just ballooned up on a bunch of gear. It looks harder in mass. But that being said, right, it played a role.
You can believe, and if I told you, you just laugh. You know, I have told you, and it's true. So the gear, it's not because of the gear. It's because of my lifestyle choices, right? You're pounding down.
I definitely agree with that. It's definitely the eating constantly, the walking around at the horribly uncomfortable body weight, feeding all that tissue, the blood requirements of all that tissue, right? That's not fat, right? That tissue needs blood. Your heart, you only got one of them. It's not designed to be that big or to feed all that tissue. I agree on that. It's more about the whole lifestyle, but the gear plays a role.
Down all this food, pounding down all this meat, pounding down all this protein, carrying around as much weight. You want to carry as much muscle as you can. So if you're walking around and you're a fucking mass monster, you know, that's not a good recipe for health. And I've always said it's not a good recipe for health. It's just how long can you get away with it, right? You know, when you're really young, you can run it hard. If everything else being, you know, cool, like you have good genetics, you don't have any kind of, you know, genetic defect or anything that's going to cause your heart to have issues that otherwise wouldn't, that's going to cause your kidneys or liver issues or any of these things, right? If you're a healthy guy, healthy person, you can run it. Most people could run it kind of hard. And then that's a relative term. Now it's becoming, some people today would think it's hard. It's just ridiculous. All of those habits, all of that is bad for you. It's bad for you. And eventually, you probably will pay for it eventually. There will come a day when you'll pay for it. If you don't change things. So medical issues that I'm dealing with right now, they're fucking credible medical issues. They're serious medical issues. They're concerns. But it's all because, if you could, you know, on my lifestyle, it's all because I wasn't doing the cardio like I should be doing the cardio to stay healthy. I was overeating, eating tons and tons of food. You know, just the entire everything surrounding the pursuit. You know, the type of exercise, even the type of exercise. I do a good deal of volume, not ridiculous, but a good deal of volume, and I train at a brisk pace, so I do try to keep my heart rate up, keep that blood pumping, and got the L-arginine and all this other shit on board, vasodilation, keep the blood flowing through there and everything good. All that's good shit, all that paid dividends, but still, the regular, normal day in and day out type of fitness, I wasn't fit for that.
You know, James, my man, he's so base, so honest, so open, and I have like the utmost respect, right? He's in no fucking denial. He lived the life how he wanted to live, and then he's saying, you know, the reparations he paid for the lifestyle he chose. You know, I have the utmost respect for him to get on camera. I mean, I can tell like this video is kind of like emotional for him to talk through, and I've done videos like that, obviously. You guys have seen some of the crazy videos I've made talking about my personal issues, but you know, there's no ego or denial about anything he did, and it's just amazing to see, right? You know, just amazing to see someone like this in the bodybuilding industry is rare.
And that actually coincides with a state of fitness that you need to be in to fucking survive, to live, you know, to live. Yeah, so put all that energy out, but not much of that at all. Not much of it helps, from a longevity standpoint, at all. Not much of some of it, not much of it. I mean, more muscle you have, the longer it's gonna take for you to lose all that muscle in older age, that's gonna help. You know, I sure don't have any problem with osteoporosis or anything like that. I don't have any kind of blood flow problem. I don't have any kind of arterial, you know, blockages and shit from all the L-arginine and just constantly pumping, you know, but, you know, so it wasn't all bad, but some parts of it were very bad. And that is like, the diet is a shit diet to gain mass. You know, I've never told you it was healthy. I told you how it works. This is an easy way to do it. This is a sure shot. But is it healthy? I've never tried to pass it off as being healthy. And it's not like I didn't realize all these things were possible. They could happen. But I truly never expected them just to pop up out of the blue like this, you know? So, not the end of the world. It just is a radical departure from how I have lived and how I have trained and how I have eaten to what I do now. But it's just, you know, fair warning. Yeah, you can run it hard and you can pound those calories and you can eat all that stuff and you can, otherwise than that, not expend a lot of calories. It's another huge violation. And just point in a lot of cases, but I think that there are a lot of people that just are so used to being in their own skin. I would imagine. I mean, I'm older than most of these guys and still at it, you know. You're living in your own skin, so you're seeing yourself day in and out. So you don't really, just like you wouldn't notice the slow progress, steady progress, you know, as you're dropping body weight because you're seeing it on a day-to-day, hour-to-hour basis almost, you're there, you know, but it's the same way when you build a bunch of muscle. When you build a bunch of muscle, you know, once the initial novelty wears off, you don't really, you don't see it, you just see you. You just see what you look like. You know, you may catch a picture or a photograph or something occasionally, wow, I look big from that angle. You know, you're in your own skin. So this is, you know, where I'm at in this point in life now, that, and it's not all bad, but it could have been, if I hadn't become aware of it, if I hadn't been getting checked out and getting blood work done. You know, so it's everything that we might do to put that muscle on. And again, it's always everybody thinks it's the gear. Oh, it's the gear, it's so dangerous, that's gonna kill you. The way some people do it today, yeah, I agree. But really, just in and of itself, if you have some sense, and you really do care about your life, you know, if you look at it objectively, you can do it safely. And so the gear?
I don't agree you can be a mass monster safely. I agree that James did it in the way to mitigate the most harm, take the most precaution, but like he stated in this video, just one day, you know, his body was done with that life. His body was done, it gave out, right? He didn't feel good. Got the bloods pulled. Bloods obviously didn't look good, right? If he's going to change his whole lifestyle at 60, he's going to go into a longevity mindset, downsize. You know, he's just accepting it, and this is his acceptance video, putting that behind him, moving on to a new chapter. And like I said, like, this is a lot of respect coming from me watching this video. I can see like he's a little bit, you know, this is a emotional video for him moving on, and I completely respect it. But the gear played a role, man. The gear played a role.
I went to the gear and say, yeah, that calls this, that calls that. Because little issues with the gear here and there, I've looked for. I need to look for that. I need to see this, you know, hematocrits getting high. All right, I gotta take care of that. You know, this is going on, I gotta take care of that. But these other things, and the bad thing of it is one thing, we got these other issues. One thing. And one thing gets set out of balance and out of whack. All these other problems.
Definitely agree, right? People don't understand, like, one thing goes, cascading side effects occur. So you modulate one variable, downstream effect of modulating other things. That's a very good point.
So I'm out here for now. If you guys have a great day, I'll be back again and we'll get into the details of this thing.
All right, so I'm going to be following along when he discusses what actually happened to him. This is the video where he's like, this body is officially never coming back. This body that garnered him the following and, you know, all the respect, you know, those days are over. And there's nothing wrong with that. He's got nothing to prove. He obviously proved that he's a freakazoid mass monster and has the stoic mentality to create that. He did his work. He did his work. So going in the comment section, I feel your pain, my brother. I had bloods done and came back with high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and a kidney marker. I'm 59 years old. I've been lifting for over 30 years, and this came for me to either be the biggest bloke in the gym or the biggest bloke in the graveyard. So I dropped nearly 2 stone, cut out processed meat, refined sugars, had tests redone, and all clear. However, bigorexia is real, so still in the gym but covered now. So this poor guy, probably a beast his entire life, still suffering from the mental disorder where he can't just wear a tank top. He doesn't like what he sees in the mirror. Everyone gotta downsize at some point. I will downsize at some point, right? That's why, you know, I'm an RPG character. I'm maxing out the body is temporary, vanity is temporary, wisdom and knowledge is forever. So you just don't sit there and build one thing, you know. It adds to a tool in your toolbox, and sometimes a tool gets dull and you gotta fucking get rid of it, you know. I've had my day in the sun to pass the baton to the younger blokes. I wish you good fortune and good health, big man. We've been there, done it, and we've worn the XXL t-shirts. Getting cancer at 43 while having 4 and 7-year-olds, that was my wake-up call for, you know, his lifestyle. Focus shifted to what do I need to eat to train, to what do I need to eat to see my kids graduate high school. It's not quite the same, but this video resonated with me based on having to reframe everything, you know, your entire image. The reason people don't understand this video is James Tiny Vest, his entire character, and I'll say that because he's a stoic man. You know, he'll overcome this, right? But his entire character is built on this freakazoid mass look. You know, he was this, you know, token of like, yo, this is the freak mass monster. He blew up from the freak mass. Everyone called him big. I'm sure in reality, everyone's just like, man, coming up to him. What do I need to get tissue like you? And this day came to where he has to downsize. He has to throw that away and move on to a new chapter. And it takes a real man to come on camera and say it how it is like James did, and I wanted to highlight that. And the main takeaway I want you to take from this video is it's not all about the steroids like James said. It is to a certain degree, but it's more about the lifestyle of mass, right? The lifestyle of being a mass monster. This is why I don't really want to be an open bodybuilder. Even if I had the genetics to be an open bodybuilder, that's a risk I don't want to take. I'm perfectly fine in building the best classic physique I can build, staying around that stage weight instead of, you know, pushing it as hard as I can, because it takes a toll on you mentally. And you can see that reflected in his emotion he's holding in as he's discussing this video. You know, it's been that big for that long. His entire life he's been this unit freakazoid, and now, you know, he's gotta swallow the hard pill that it's the next chapter and he's downsizing. And I think, you know, Dorian Yates said it the best, like, that life's behind me. I'm a new person, I'm a different person. You know, Dorian threw that Mr. Olympia physique away. You know, he did what he wanted to achieve with it. He achieved it. It is what it is. It's a medal on his fucking shirt, and he moved on. And that's the same thing with James, and it's so sick to see him just be so open, no ego. I'll see you guys in my next video.